Happy Saturday. Welcome back to another podcast episode. I am so glad to be recording this right now. I have really exciting things to talk about. So many changes, so many stories to tell, and yeah, I'm just so excited to be back. I'm kind of sad I didn't pre-record anything for last weekend. I didn't think that far ahead, but I did mention in my last video when I was talking about my healthy habits, I was preparing to go to Coachella and I just got back. So, weekend one was 4 or 5 days ago. After we got back Monday, I had to just unpack and prepare for the next day because I did have work. A lot of my friends actually took Tuesday off, which I'm kind of, I was debating whether I should or should not. I know I shouldn't just because I going into Coachella, I really wanted to preserve my energy where I'm not going to be so drained, after I come back. I never like coming back from a trip super drained where I just want to stay and rot in bed for a couple of days. I don't like to do that to myself, so I really planned and intentionally conserved my energy over that weekend. And I'm glad that I was able to get through 4 days of work with no low energies at all. So I'm super happy that I didn't have to compensate a fun weekend with like a productive work week. So I'm really glad. But now I am returning to my normal routine. I just finished working out and I actually filmed my workout routine, which I'm kind of scared to put out, mainly because I know I'm not the best person to be putting out workout content, but I am feeling very inspired. I'm in this period where I really want to focus on my fitness journey. So I do want, for my own reference, to document that and see my progress. So I'll be working on that today or this weekend. But anyway, like I said, I have many things that I want to share from Coachella, and I'm really, really excited to talk about it just because it was my first time, and I, just for reference, I'm not really the type of person who would go to festivals or music festivals, if anything. In college, yes, I did go mainly because it was free. It was part of my tuition, so I did, go and try to make the best out of it. But before Coachella, before this weekend, I was never the type of person to put down so much money to watch artists perform. Because for me, I don't, I actually learned about the parasocial concept not a while ago. And it just made me realize how many people get obsessed with this fantasy of having a relationship with the artist or the actors that they admire. And there's nothing wrong with that. I was like that too in middle school, but now that I'm in this stage where I'm trying to build a life, trying to enter my adulthood and build something for myself, it's not really one of my priorities. But I feel some perspectives have changed since I went to Coachella. And yeah, I just want to share what the experience was like for somebody who, in my mid 20s, and I'm not really a huge fan of festivals. I think they're fun, but that's just not my type of fun. I Music is my escape. I love music. I love discovering new music. I love my music, and it's just one of my comfort coping skills. Um, but it never went through my head that I want to see my admiration for these artists never went to the extent that I want to see them in every time they get to my city or they get close to me when it comes to performing live. I never really took that opportunity. In college, I did go to a concert. Actually, in college, I went to my first concert and then I went to another one. But those were artists that I had loved growing up, so it was in my bucket list to attend one of their concerts because I know that they are such good performers. They are veterans. They know what they do, so I had to go. But with this new generation of pop artists that are rising and catching attention in the public and media and all of that. I do think they have a lot of potential, but they are not to that level yet that I would pay hundreds of money to see them perform live. I would rather just kind of wait until there's a moment in my life where their music really resonated and like really impacted me in my mental health and the things that I'm experiencing. And when there is a special bond like that, I would love to see these artists perform live. But other than that, I am good. I don't, I'd rather spend my money somewhere else. But the reason why I went to Coachella this year is because I was hanging out with my friends over the weekend before Coachella, week 1. They were talking about it constantly. Like, they were like, oh, this is what I'm gonna have this is what I'm planning for my outfit, this is what I need. We went to Target, we were shopping for like the essentials and all of that, and just that whole experience of just preparing for a really fun weekend, which I could tell everybody was like so hyped out about this. I saw the lineup actually. It just showed up on my Instagram, and I was like, oh, that's a really fun lineup. There's some artists that I have been obsessed with this year, and it would be nice to see them. I didn't really consider, oh my god, how it would fit into my finances, to my schedule and all of that. But either way, I impulsively went. I bought the ticket that same Saturday. I was hanging out with them, and I started planning all of my outfits that same Saturday. And I didn't even have enough time because Saturday, Sunday, Monday, those are the only times I could actually prepare, because Tuesdays to Fridays I have work. I work from daytime to nighttime. And then Friday morning is when we have to leave to Palm Springs. And since I purchased my ticket late, I had to do a will call, which is I have to pick up my wristband like a couple hours before the event in the morning at 8 a.m. And the music starts, or the festival starts at 1 or 12, I don't remember. But yeah, Friday, I was like, am I gonna have enough time to really plan out my outfits, visualize what I want to wear? And I didn't want to go into this experience not giving it my best shot, just because I don't know. I wasn't sure if I was going to go again next year. I wasn't sure if I'm going to enjoy it. So I really wanted to give it all, since I already paid that amount of money for a ticket. I was like, let's make it the best experience. So Sunday I was like visualizing what I'm going to wear. I was finding inspiration, like if I was going to go and this is my last, what am I going to wear? So I was also debating whether do I go all out or find the balance between comfort and fashion. It was a whole thing. I was just doing research, Sunday and Monday, and I was shopping for the things that I think I would need and I wanted to include and incorporate in my outfits. It was a very fun weekend in a sense that I felt like I felt very girly. I felt very like a little girl, just excited and looking forward to a fun weekend. And I haven't had that in a while, since Pakistan. So I'm really glad I was able to experience it. And then, so that was that. That was so the weekend before Coachella. And then I honestly found my main inspiration was just Tyla. She was the artist that I really wanted to see perform live, and I just love her energy, the femininity, the sensuality that she exudes when she's performing, and just her overall vibe I love, because I feel like I am in that similar period in my life where I am exploring this new age of sensuality. So I wanted to see her. There were some artists that I knew growing up, like K-pop artists that I had admired when I was in middle school or high school. I wasn't too excited to see them, honestly. I didn't have any thoughts about them, but I thought it'd be nice for the little girl in me. Like if I was still in middle school and, I was the Emmeline who was obsessed with K-pop and K-dramas. Like I wanted to fulfill that aspect too. So I didn't really try to disregard them completely, but I was trying to give in to the experience. But yeah, so that was that. I left San Diego Friday morning, like around 6 a.m. because it's a 3 to 2 hour drive from San Diego to Palm Springs, and the will call was in Indian Wells where they have the tennis tournament. So it's like about 20 minutes away from Coachella, which is where the festival happens. So that's that. I had to get up early before the rest of the group. I drove myself up to Palm Springs. Was very, very sleepy. I didn't have enough sleep because Thursday night, the night before I had to leave, I had a last minute shopping, so I went to the mall. I got some stuff from Sephora, from Abercrombie, and it was just like very rushed, and I don't like being in that kind of environment, but it was fun nonetheless. If you know what I mean. It's just what it is, right? It was fun. So that was that. 4 hours of sleep, drove 2 hours to Palm Springs. The line wasn't too bad when I picked up my wristband. It was like about 20-minute wait. But it was starting to get really hot. As soon as like it hit 10 or 11, that's when the heat, like the temperature just really like went up. And it was a shock to my system, honestly, because in San Diego it's been gloomy and just cold, a little bit colder. We're still in spring weather, but that was that. We rented an Airbnb like an hour away from the actual festival, so we took the furthest convention center that was picking up the shuttle. So our drive from our Airbnb from the convention center to Coachella was about an hour or 50 minutes. And then from that convention center, it was about 20 minutes away from our Airbnb. So we were kind of really far from Coachella. But I'm not really sure of the logistics of why it was like that, because I went with a group of people who has gone before. So I was just following, what they were doing. I didn't really have much experience and I'm not really the planner type of person in a friend group. I'd rather have somebody else do all of the research and all of that. I am that type of friend. So I went along, and I'm so grateful that I actually went with a group of people who knows what they're doing, and because they had experience the year prior, they knew what they wanted to change and how to make the experience even better this year, and I couldn't be more grateful. So I honestly, it was like something that I had like a lot of doubts going into, just because like I said, I don't like music festivals. I don't think I'm gonna, it's not my type of vibe, but my perspective honestly just changed. If you were to ask me if I would go back, I would definitely go back, but with the exception that I would want an artist pass. And I know it's a really hefty price, it's really expensive, but if I was to go back to Coachella next year, it would be my goal, starting today, to work my way up and make sure that I'm able to get that artist pass. That's how I, envision it coming out of weekend one Coachella. But yes, it was a really fun weekend, and I would like to show some of the fits that I had worn. So like I said, my main inspiration was Tyla, and honestly, she was the main artist that I wanted to see. There were a couple ones too, so I downloaded the Coachella app, and I created my schedule, and I wanted to make sure that I am aware of what times my favorite artists will be going to perform. So for Friday, which is the first day of Coachella weekend one, there were about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artists that I wanted to see. And I was looking at my friends' schedules, and they were like 20 artists in there. And I was like, how is this even possible? So I didn't know really what to expect. The shuttle thing, obviously, once you experience Coachella, you'll experience it. It wasn't too bad, honestly. It's the heat that really gets to you sometimes. But my body just functions in a very weird way. I am not a fan of public restrooms at all. If I have to, if I'm on my period or whatever it is, I would do it just for the sake of comfortability and, just for the sake of having fun. I would go. But I am very good and I'm very diligent when it comes to intentionally preparing my body so that I don't have to use public restrooms. That's just the way that I've been this entire time. Since middle school, actually, in my science class. It all started from science class, but I do not like public restrooms. So, I watched some TikToks on how to survive Coachella, what are the essentials you should take, and whatever, all of those things. Yeah, I hydrated, before leaving for the shuttle and all of that. So I did come in a little bit prepared, even though it was a very last minute decision for me to go. So that was that. So yeah, weekend one, I was so hyped and pumped. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I saw Lola Young. She was the first performer that I saw, and then I watched Joe. He was also there. Joe was a special artist for me because last year, when his song End of Beginning started to really pick up, I it just felt like a music that reflected my college days. So it was something that I was really listening to after graduation, and it was just fun to listen to it live and just feel like, oh my god, like I had such a fun college experience with all of my friends, and I miss that. And I felt very glad that I stayed for that performance because I didn't even know he was performing after Lola. So yeah, I honestly, his music is like my type of music. So I had such a fun time listening to his entire set. But then after his set was Tyla's. So it was like a little bit of an internal conflict because Tyla was the artist that I wanted to see perform live, but Joe had a special place in my heart. So I really had to stay through the entire set and then go to Tyla's pretty late. Like, we were running to the outside, what is it called? Outside stage or something like that. Outdoor theater or something like that. So yeah. And then after Tyla, oh my gosh, I knew all the lyrics to Tyla's music. It was so fun because, there were moments throughout the weekend where I went to a set where I didn't really know the artist because all my friends would be there and I didn't want to spend that time alone. So I ended up going, in hopes of finding new music. So I did go with open mind and all of that. But it feels different when you know the artist and you know the lyrics, and you're just having so much fun listening to this music that you listen to at home, at the gym, all the time. So that was that. I also saw Benson Boone performing. We were walking past him, actually. We were going towards Lisa, I believe. That's why we passed by him. And everybody needed to grab a drink and a snack, so we were in a tight schedule. So that was weekend one. Oh, I did saw Mustard also. Oh, and Lady Gaga. So a lot of people get shocked when I say I don't really listen to Lady Gaga's music, and I understand because I know she's a huge, huge influence in the music industry. I do like her album A Star Is Born from the movie. That is the one, like a couple of Lady Gaga songs that I really listen to and I really enjoy. But her pop music, it's not really my cup of tea. So I love seeing my friends have fun and just dance to her music when she was performing, but honestly, I didn't really have that much fun. If anything, I was looking forward to going to Mustard's set. I'm sorry if that makes other people just shocked and upset, but that's just my experience. I didn't really grow up listening to her music, but I know of her influence. So that's that. I had a lot of fun listening to Mustard. It was a lot of throwback songs. Saw some artists, rappers that I heard were pretty good. Honestly, I am not the best person if you ask me about celebrities and music artists, because I just like to listen to the music. That's it. So that was that. I went alone to Mustard's set, actually. We ended up separating, me and my friends, because everybody wanted to stay and watch Gaga's set, but I wanted to go to Mustard. So it was kind of sad because everybody around me, they were all dancing and, dancing to music, but I was alone. But that's that. Anyway, that's day one. And then we got home Everybody had some, just chit chat, daydreaming about day one, and it was just really fun. Day two, we saw. Oh, actually, let me show you my outfit for day one. Let me see if I could find. So this was the outfit for day one. It's just a beanie, or not a beanie, a scarf and a brown bikini with linen pants, cream linen pants, and then some Nike sneakers. That's my day one. Really comfortable because that was the hottest day out of the 3 days. So I really wanted to feel like I am ready to battle. I am ready to fight this heat. So that was my choice of fashion for day one. And then moving on to day two, we saw, I think day two was a little bit more relaxed from what I remember. So we got to Coachella pretty late because we were taking a lot of pictures at another friend's Airbnb. And I'm really sad that I missed Disco Lines because I watched his podcast with Jake Shane, and he's a very attractive guy, and I wanted to see, because EDM DJ, I never really was attracted to that type of music, but when I saw his podcast episode with Jake Shane, I was intrigued. He was a really good looking man, and I was like, wait, this could be an opportunity for me to learn how it works in the other side of the music industry. So DJ, I was listening to his music and all of that on TikTok, and I was trying to get familiar. It's still not my type of music or vibe, but I wanted to give it a chance. So I wanted to go to a Disco Lines set so I can see what the vibe is and see if I'm gonna like it, because I just had this preconceived notion that I'm not gonna like DJ music or EDM. But I still didn't get that chance because we got there pretty late, like 3 or 4, and actually we got there way past 6 p.m. actually, because he ended at 6:25. So that was for the first artist that I wanted to see, and then I also wanted to see Charlie XCX, Hanumankind, and Travis Scott. That was on my schedule. We did see Charlie XCX. She brought out a lot of artists that I didn't know. Honestly, I started listening to Charlie XCX that same day that I purchased a ticket, so the weekend before Coachella. And I love her music. I really like it. I do have to explore more of her music, but firsthand, right off the bat, I did enjoy her music. That concert, or that set, was really fun. And then after that, I went to Hanumankind by myself because none of my friends knew him. Hanumankind was so fun. It just felt like it brought me back a little bit to like that brown, the southeast culture and my experience in Pakistan. So it was really fun. I have a little bit of a crush on him, I guess. His voice is so raspy. There's something about his voice and the way that he delivers his lines that really just captivates me. And it could be because of his looks. But he is an artist that I am in tune to see like how he grows in the industry. So I had such a fun time watching him. I got pretty close to the barricade because there wasn't a lot of people. Yeah. And then after that, we went and saw Travis Scott. Travis Scott was late. And I don't really appreciate that, honestly. And I know how hectic it could get in the background, in backstage and everything. But if there's a will, there's a way. That's just how it is. And I was, right off the bat, kind of like not feeling it. But his music is fun, so I tried to make the best out of it. We were all the way in the back, like towards the Rainbow Tower. We didn't want to join the crowd just because we know how crazy he can get when he performs. So for safety reasons, we were all the way in the back watching him from the big screens, and that was fun nonetheless. His music was fun to listen to. After that, we just went home. We were really, really exhausted. It was day 2. And then we got ready for day 3. But my day 2 outfit, let's see, was a blue bikini top. Let's see if I can find a photo. Blue bikini top with blue pants, striped pants from Abercrombie. So that's what it was, and I put my hair half ponytail. I don't know how to explain it. And I braided the ponytail, and then I wore my New Balances. So that was the outfit. Again, very like summer West Coast vibe, but that's all the clothes I had. Like I didn't want to try too hard and buy all of these accessories for a weekend that I'm not even sure if I'm gonna use ever again. So I just made the most out of what I already have, which is very summery clothes. So yeah, that's that. What else did I do? Okay, so the next day we saw, that's day 3. um I miss Rema. So I missed 2 artists that I really wanted to see in Coachella. It was Disco Lines and Rema. His was the first set that I wanted to see, but because all of my friends wanted to camp for Jenny's set, I got really scared to leave because we were already near, like, super close to the barricade. We were one line behind the barricade. And me leaving Jenny's just to go to Rima's, which is like 10-minute walk, I got really scared doing that just because I know Jenny was like a huge. I did like her when I was in middle school, so I was like, should I miss out on this? Or should I go to Rima? Oh my god, it was so, like, it was just such a hard uh, swallow. It was just so hard to accept it that I won't be able to see him because he was an artist that I really liked last year. Um, but that's just how it is. Jenny's a huge artist, so I had to deal with it. Um, Jenny's was fun. Before Jenny, there was another performer. I forget his name, but it's something with Steezy. It starts with an S. He had a very colorful stage. But that's when all of the influencers came out, and they were right in front of the barricade. I saw Emma Chamberlain, Harry Jowsey from the dating shows on Netflix, Madeline RG, who dated Central C, the rapper. I saw the back of Joshua Bassett. And then I saw Bretman Rock. I might have seen Mark from Got7. Um, who else did I see? I saw Keshi perform, actually, and then I had a crush on this one guy who kept walking back and forth in the VIP section, and I don't know who he is. I asked everyone around me, and they didn't know who he is, but he was a very attractive guy. Had a bit of a crush on him. So that was that. Keshi's music is not really my vibe. I did enjoy the slowness of it before a really rowdy night. So that was that. Um, yeah, I had a fun time just eyeing all of these influencers and just me getting really motivated to make it up there. Just wanting to be part of that group, wanting to have access to that type of environment, the VIP and all of that. So I yeah, I don't even know what I was thinking. I wasn't even listening to the artist performing. I was just like watching all of these influencers and famous people, and I was just watching them interact with one another. It was something really interesting because like I said, I'm a bystander or an outsider when it comes to this. I like to observe from a distance. So it was fun being up close to them. After Jenny's set, we went to Megan Thee Stallion. Oh my gosh, everybody was such a vibe dancing to her music. She's a really good performer. Her energy's up there. The strength, like just what she portrays overall, it's very empowering. So I loved her. And then after that, I believe we walked over a little bit to Zed's. Like, again, I don't know his music. I don't even know who he is, but I was there trying to enjoy the time with my friends. So my friends were having the best time of their life, and I was just there recording every single one of them. I wanted them to have pictures to look back on during the best time of their life, so I was the photographer in that sense. His music, I could tell, has a huge influence. Everybody was there. It was a large crowd, so it was good to be part of it. And then after Zed, we watched Post Malone's set, and that one was an artist that I really wanted to see. I love Post Malone as the artist that he is. I'm not really a huge fan of his music. It's not something I listen to on a day-to-day basis, but his character as an artist and a musician, his vibe, his happiness, it's just, he glows, right? He is a very well-mannered artist, and I love him. I love that he spreads this kind of energy in the music industry. So I enjoyed every song that he performed. Even though I didn't know or forgot most of his music, I was just out there vibing, and I love watching him from a distance. I think that's just the type of listener that I am. I like to be in the back and just be able to watch him, not from a rowdy place, but like just actually indulge and immerse myself in his performance, because when you're in the crowd, it's really hard um to soak it all in, because there's so much energy around you, so much moving. So I really had a fun time just going in the back, finding our own spot, me and my friends, and like just laying down and listening to his music. It was so much fun. Yeah, food wise, I didn't really eat anything. I purchased like one food per day. Day one, I didn't eat anything actually. Day two, I did order some carne asada fries and fresca agua, and then day three, I got some fries, like loaded fries, I believe. Oh no, it was another carne asada fries. That one wasn't that good, but yeah. And then I also went to the American Express Lounge for day three, because there was a large gap where I didn't really have any artists I wanted to see, and I did want to check out the art in American Express since I was eligible. So I went there, went with another friend. We took a photo in the photo booth, and it was just nice because it was really cold. It was air conditioned, and there's some free food and all of that. So I enjoyed my time there, just relaxing, because it was the peak of the heat. So it was like 3 or 4 p.m. and I wanted a place to just relax. So had a really fun time in the lounge. Other than that, I didn't really explore any other places. Honestly, I didn't go to the brand events. I didn't even know where my friends were not interested in them at all. So that was that. And then my outfit for day three was very simple. Once again, it was like this. It was a red bikini from Cotton On, white jeans from Abercrombie, of course, and then the leather jacket is from Abercrombie as well. It was a McLaren leather jacket, and I loved it, even though it was really heavy to carry around during the day. I loved the look of it. I wish it could have been smaller, but that's the smallest size. Anyway, that was my outfit for day three. Very, again, Tala inspired. But that's everything that I had experienced from Coachella. Honestly, I would go back again next year if I have the artist pass. If I don't, I'd definitely reconsider. That's just, my preferences. I felt like I entered the influencer world a little bit there for that entire weekend, and I loved it. It motivates me to do more for myself, create more content, and try to make a career out of this. And I hope that everybody feels that same way, because, like I keep saying, it's a very lucrative space, especially in our generation. There's no way why you wouldn't be making content unless you're a very private person. I am a private person. I thought I was, but I'm still doing this because I feel like I am living out my dream, my little girl dream of being a YouTuber or an influencer, whatever it is, content creator. And I just love it because, again, I'm scared of what this could turn out, but I'm also very excited of the opportunities that I can get from this type of hobby. So that's where we're at. I It's already 11. I do have to go and walk the dogs, and do all the other errands that I have to do for the weekend. But oh my gosh, it's such a fun weekend. I honestly, it was the best way to do it because of the people that I went, actually. So I have to thank them for it because they had everything prepared. And if you're gonna go for the first time, definitely try to go with an experienced group, because everything else came so much easier. That was my Coachella experience. I hope, if you're going for the first time this weekend, or weekend 2, or next year, you get some tips and you get some more information on, like, how to approach it. But anyway, that's that. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm gonna try to um, return to my routine and just get back to my usual schedule. I have a lot more to share, but we'll probably do it in another video. Anyway, you guys, it's getting really warm and I'm so excited for summer. Look how tan I got, and I'm so happy because summer wasn't giving here in San Diego. So I'm just so excited to feel motivated and active and fit again. Um, you guys have a great weekend. It's I believe Easter, so have a safe weekend, have fun, and we'll see you again. We'll see you again next week, or in my shorts. Feel free, check out my shorts because I put in a lot of effort in that, or at least I would love to create more content in shorts. So check it out, you guys. It's really fun. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys next weekend. Bye.